Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. It's about 52 degrees this morning, damn, which makes it feel cold. No wind. All right, anyway, still dark, but sunlight is coming. I was watching those guys work on the tower yesterday. They had a big old piece they were lifting up. It must be hundreds of feet tall, Incredible. Wish they weren't building it right there. Not the thing I want to see when I look out the window is a huge cell phone tower. But this is the technology world we live in. Here is Highland Mist. This is the feature thing. $6.49 at International Market in Metairie, Louisiana. I almost said World Market. International Market. Introduced in 1957. They no longer advertise for it. Inver House, introduced in 1961. Inver House green plaid, actually. They used to advertise for this. No longer. All right, you won't see this in magazine and on the internet. I forgot to put a note. It's not important, really. I don't know how many people read those notes. This is bottled. They're both bottled in Chicago. I should add that. Bottled in Chicago by Barton Brands, which got bought out by Sazerac 10 years ago. A blend of superbly light 100% rare, Scotch whiskeys distilled and blended in Scotland. Nice looking label. It's a really great label. They haven't really changed it since 1961. Bought this at Dorgnac's. It's a liter bottle. And it was $10.99. It's got a castle with two lions and some water. You know, Scotland's next to the sea. So it's a great label. It's just what's inside is kind of dull from my experience. Didn't say it was bad, but it's pretty dull. This is the same thing. They're both 80 proof, age 3 years, have no website listing, bottled in Chicago, Illinois. Not much else to say about it. No use saying anything else about it. Well, I'll pour the Highland Mist first. And they had that standard, this is a 750, that standard Sazerac label. Let me see something real fast. 10.99 divided by 1,000 times 750. 824. Yeah, I thought so. So $8. We're going to convert it to 750 milliliters. 824 versus 649. So we're talking about what, $1.75 difference. I do not think that the Inver House is going to be $1.75 better than the Highland Mist. I don't even think it's going to be better. It's going to be dull versus bland, blah versus ho-hum, and all that. It's like if you said, oh man, I love Busch beer. That's my thing. And how can you drink Rolling Rock? Oh, and you go on and on. It's like they're the same price. And they're almost the same ABV, 4.3 to 4.4, and their flavor is almost the same. So I don't see. I would just buy whatever one's cheaper, but then they're usually the same price. I might just buy whatever one has a new label so I could have it in my collection, something like that. Believe me, I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. And reminding myself, I need to get the new Bud Light Platinum can for my collection. I'll have to go look around. If I can get a single, good. If I can't, I'll get the 12-pack. Well, they're both gold, same appearance, exact same appearance. Makes you wonder, huh? Same ABV. Well, they're all 80 proof, all these whiskeys. That doesn't mean anything. Same age statement, 3 years, the minimum. Same color, same bottling facility, Chicago, Illinois. Who makes it for them in Scotland? I don't know. I know Inver House is a real distillery in Scotland. They have a website, Inver House. They make a whole range of whiskeys, single malt and blended. But they don't list the green Plaid. That's owned by Sazerac, so that they could have some kind of arrangement, which is something I can't explain and I don't know anything about. I keep saying it. I have to keep saying it because it's the same thing to say. It tastes like Kick cereal without sugar. It tastes, or salt. It just tastes like corn cereal, cereal grain, cornmeal. Think of cornmeal, corn flour, not Mexican corn. Forget that. That has a different flavor. Just American corn, just standard. And I guess, I don't know, does Scotland import their corn from America? It's not a big country. It's probably about the size of Louisiana. That's one country, the size of one of our states. So I don't know. But I think most of the blended Scotch whiskey is using about 80% corn liquor base. They call it grain whiskey. That's what it is. Column distilled, odorless, colorless, bland filler. You could find that out just reading about Scotch, even on some good websites like Johnny Walker and especially Chivas Regal. They'll tell you about that. But apparently the quality level of the neutral spirits makes a difference. Why, I don't know, but apparently it does. Because if you look on Midwest Grain Products, they sell grain neutral spirits and it's different price levels. This is a little pungent. Is there any Scotch character? There's a little bit of peat. Smoke, forget about it. That ain't happening. Same thing over here. What I just talked about is the same. I'm not going to repeat myself. Whoops. Went too hard with, I tipped it over too much to get the smell and I dumped it on my lip. I dumped the Scotch on my lip. Okay. A little mishap there. Yeah, it's a little, they have a little pungency to them, like you might get with some grains, cereal grains, like a little full nose. It's a full nose, okay. But what's it full of? Just ordinary. I'm not sitting here trying to bash these products, okay? I'm not bashing them. If you pay $6.49 for a bottle of Scotch or $8.24, and then you start ripping it apart to my house, well, what'd you think it was going to be? Now, to be fair, can you buy a pretty elaborate blended Scotch whiskey for under $10? Answer, yes. What is it, Sir Malcolm? No. Inver House? No. Highland Mist? No. Piper Dean? No. It goes on and on. No, 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 no. You keep saying that same statement. No, no, no. Then you say 100 Pipers. Ding. Whoop. Yes. there's your champ. There's your champ. There's your champ. 100 Pipers. $8.99. $8.99. I saw it at International Market. $8.99. I said, there's your winner. So far, I haven't had the black and white. Well, that might not be under $10. See, I'm trying to think under 10. See, under 10, under 10. It's got rich smokiness, a lot of peat, earthy peatiness. It's the #1 selling Scotch. One of the #1. I gotta get my thoughts straight. It's one of the top selling. That's what I'm trying to say. One of the top selling Scotch whiskeys in India. And then there's a 12-year age. Imagine what that's like. But for $8.99, get real. That thing is. Oh man, that thing can battle. But these just limp along. You know. Let's go with the taste. Huh, just like I smelled. Same thing. I mean, yeah, you can pick up a little doughy bread from the single malt. You do pick that up. A little shade of peat. I'm not hating it. I would never buy it again. Okay, I would not. Obviously not. 100 Pipers, Yes, indeed. Oh, and I forgot about Clan McGregor. Yeah, I would buy Clan McGregor again. It has that fruitiness, the apple, like they're saying, the baked apple, mild smokiness, not much smoke, a lot of bread dough. So that would be another one under $10. That'd be a fantastic bargain. So Clan McGregor and 100 Pipers. But the rest so far, dull, 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 dull. I didn't say bad, didn't say off, didn't say weird, strange, unpleasant, just dull. And a lot of things in the world are dull, which is fine, but you don't go running after them and you wouldn't repurchase them. Same thing here. Maybe less peatiness. Maybe. I think we already know the result. We know the conclusion. If I can't tell them apart, or if I can barely tell them apart, and I really can't, and the quality level is the same, you know, adequate. If you want to say shabby, a little shabby. Okay. So you go with the cheaper one, which is Highland Mist, $6.49, $6.49, $6.49, $6.49. I can say that I just say it in an endless loop, right? If you're at Albertsons and you see Piper Dean, that's $6.49. Same. It's like the same. It's bottled in Louisville, but it's from Sazerac. I know that. I know that's who makes it. So what you're really getting is different labels. Now, some people collect bottles. Well, I would never collect liquor bottles. Look how much space they take up. It's like people collect 40-ounce bottles. Man, you can fill up your house fast with that. I do have 40-ounce bottles. I got too many. And I have to dust all these cans and bottles next month. I do that 3 times a year, December, April, and August. You know how tedious that is? It's very tedious. But I hate seeing dust on the bottles. So I usually take the feather duster, but that only can work for so long. Then you got to take the towel and wipe them down individually. And what a pain that is. But some people do collect cans and bottles in or the big liquor bottles. So just to get label to label, you might want it. But flavor differential, it doesn't exist. There's a ugly little bite to it. Am I going to enjoy drinking the rest of these 2 glasses today? Not really. Not going to really enjoy it. Boy, you start picking up that grain alcohol, let me tell you. Yeah! American blended whiskey, Canadian blended whiskey, blended Irish whiskey, blended Scotch. Ain't much difference. And I'm going to tell you, and let me be even more frank. This guy down the street who loves Dewar's, he got me to try the Dewar's white label. 3-year aged, costs about $20 a bottle. And maybe you get it for 18 if you're lucky. I tried that. Tasted like these, like grain. I even go watch the video. I said, kind of has a lot of grain in it. He admitted, yeah, now the 12-year age, yeah, it was better. The Dewar's 12 years. From what I tried, I only tried it once. You can't really get a good assessment trying it once. But I said, I didn't see much to it, honestly. So why would I ever pay $19 for Dewar's when I could get something like this that's just as good or just as drab for way less? Guess what? I wouldn't. Jeep and Footy. Good morning, Ron. Hey, good morning to you, Jeep and Footy. I like to watch your videos. I'm glad you watched mine. So I'm going to do a rum taste challenge later. That is really going to be a fiasco. Now we're talking about truly bad because it's going to be Ron Rio versus Captain Morgan. Now imagine they're the silver ones. Ron Rio silver is so dreadful. That's like literally bad. You say you got a bad batch or something. That could be. That could be. Because I can't imagine that they would actually sell that and people would buy it from what I'm tasting. But I know one thing, I'm not going to try to buy another batch. It's on the shelf. I bought it. If it's terrible, it gets called out. No. Captain is really good. It's really good. Captain Morgan white label. Really nice stuff. Got the big 1,750 milliliter bottle for $15.99 after the $4 rebate. That was a great. I could have gotten it for $14.99, but I waited around like a fool. But because Diageo runs some good rebates. But still, like, why would I pay even $14.99 when I could get the same size bottle of, like, say, like Bocador, if I could find that size bottle, or not even Bocador. Let's say, give a better example. I was gonna say Caliber, but that one's a little too weird. It's good in some sense, but it's too strange and aberrant. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people that would taste that would say, that's not rum, that's rock candy. I'm trying to think of a good example, like Skull. You could probably get a 1,750 milliliter. It'd be plastic, though. You'd have to deal with that. Bottle of Skull for about $13.99 without the rebate. And then with Captain Morgan, you're normally going to pay $19.99. So, and Skull is just as good as Captain Morgan. And if you want to be techno, Skull might be a little bit better because it's a little drier, a little crisper, which may or may not appeal to you. But these two things, ain't much happening here. You say, well, hell, people are only going to mix it. You're taking something and you're misapplying it. You're taking cheap mixing Scotch whiskeys and you're doing taste challenges. You're making a misapplication of them. They're not designed for that. Very true. Good point. You say, yeah, but you made the point. I know. I'm just using a hypothetical scenario of what somebody might say. But I can defend that by saying that Bacardi made an ad campaign based on that hypothetical situation, where they said, if you go look at the ads, I can give you the links if you privately talk to me, but most people wouldn't care enough to even make an issue out of it. But they're saying 40 years ago, we notice clear rum, superior rum, silver, is made for mixed drinks. We understand that. But they were recommending that the audience, the consumer, buy it and drink it neat. They say, just try this out, okay? Drink it neat, and then you'll notice how good it is, and then you'll see why it's so much better in mixed drinks. Now, there's a fault in that advertising. You know what that fault is. They weren't asking the people to compare it and contrast it with other clear rums, silver, white rums, even cheaper ones, and see if there was a good substitute for it. So see, they were only throwing out half the equation. It was an unbalanced equation. An imbalanced, was it unbalanced or an imbalance? An imbalance deriving from an unbalanced equation. So they really should have said, go out there and buy cheaper white rums, do a blind taste test and see what happens. But why would you do that? Because you'll find that there are fantastic substitutes. So, you know, they're not going to cut off their nose to spite their face, but you can just follow their logical progression, and you can extrapolate the whole concept to its endpoint, which is what I did and which is what I'm doing now. You can buy Chivas Regal for $23. Oh, what am I saying? $23? It must be crazy. For $33. You could buy Chivas Regal for $33. And then they talk about, this is a fabulous blending Scotch, mixing Scotch. They basically focus on that. Oh, how good it is for mixing. I wonder why they do that. And then you taste Chivas Regal and you say, it's aged 12 years and this is all you get. So I could pay $33 for that, which is, I gave it a 90 out of 100 my first examination, my first review. There's the eastbound Kansas City Southern, which might have been too high. Probably. probably was too high. Or I could pay $6.49 for something that's, I mean, you know, it's not as good as Chivas Regal. I mean, I'm not going to sit here on the internet and say Highland Mist is as good as Chivas Regal, but it's not that far below. If I pay $6.49 and get drab, I can deal with it. No problem. No problem, man. But if I'm paying $33, I need to see some action. You know, I need to see something. And when nothing's happening, I get kind of aggravated. Buchanan's I can get 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Depends on the store. You know, you're looking at that range. Low level 30, 31.99 in the gift pack at Walmart. High level about $39. Buchanan's 12-year age. Buchanan's Deluxe. But there's a lot happening there. It's rich, elaborate, smoky, detailed, has depth of flavor, depth of body, depth of quality, and intricate finish. It's fabulous in every way. So I find that Chivas Regal is an embarrassment compared to that. And there's the same price point. So would that be worth the price compared to these things here? Obviously it would be. But enough of that, because you get the point. I don't have to sit here and flog a dead horse. We've got one more taste challenge with Highland Mist, and that's Scoresby. Scoresby, John Italy said in Georgia it'd be $8.99 a bottle. Well, I can assure you in Louisiana it's much higher than that. In Louisiana, we're looking at about 20. Well, the price has dropped. About $26 for a 1,750 milliliter. About 15 for the, maybe 13, 15 for the 750. Scoresby. Sazerac brand now as of December 2018. I didn't see where much was going on with that. That was a Diageo brand. I didn't see where they were doing much with it. It seemed kind of bland too. But that'll be sort of interesting. So if you want to watch a video Saturday morning, that'll be sort of interesting, as opposed to today's video, which was like completely not interesting. And I'm not saying that to be deadpan humor and make oblique humor, you know. No, it really is. What could be interesting about watching bland versus dull versus drab versus shabby? Nothing. That's what. So Saturday could be kind of interesting. Then Sunday, to me, is going to be very interesting because it's going to be Bellows straight Kentucky blended, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey, bourbon, aged 4 years, versus Jack Daniel's, number 7, Tennessee whiskey, aged 4 years, charcoal mellowed. Yeah, that's gonna be the ticket. Who's gonna win? I don't know. I'm pretty excited because you think, that's Jack Daniel's, man, that's world famous. Who the heck ever heard of Bellows? But sometimes you get a big surprise in the bourbon world. Are you ready for a big surprise? I am. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Are you curious? All right, thanks for watching this video production. And now it's on with Thursday.